I almost did. Man, I'm off. I'm off my game. Take a look
How
at
are you
this
feeling,
shirt.
by the way?
I love this shirt, by the way. Have you
Oh,
seen this shirt?
cool.
Kent
That's
City
great.
Schools Transportation. It's Teddy Roosevelt because we're the Rough Riders at Kent. And then it's
Okay.
this like future death bus. She definitely made the pictures with shitty AI and then like iron pressed them onto shirts. I love this shirt.
That's great.
Well, how am I doing?
Yes.
Well, my wife and daughter had walking pneumonia last week. Melissa's just starting to kind of get over it. She's still got a ton of phlegm. I ended up getting so much sinus congestion that it put pressure on my eardrum to the point where I was dizzy and actually had to call off work for sickness, which was fun. Yeah. Do you remember Tuesday and Wednesday?
Yeah.
So Tuesday I was supposed to record Dual Bastards. That got canceled because I went to urgent care. And then Wednesday got canceled because I called off work for the thing that I went to urgent care for. So that's why we have had no shows or no recordings. And then I've started to feel better, other than the fact that, lo and behold, what have I started to lose now? My fucking voice. So now my voice is going, and I have this weird kind of sore throat drainage thing going on. I don't know. I still don't have my car back. It's been like 3 months. It's
oh god,
it's a huge headache. So
oh my god,
it's been a couple of months. It's been a little bit. God. It's been a little bit. So, but other than that, I'm doing all right. Other than that, I'm doing great.
That's good.
Time to get your fix. It's a horrible gaming podcast. It's not good, it's not great. Horrible gaming podcast. It's not even what you would call fair. It's really not that good. Horrible Gaming Podcast.
Hello, my name is Zachariah with Old Man Gaming. You, dear listener, for whatever reason, have decided to listen to another Horrible Gaming podcast. I am not alone. Usually I am never alone. With me is...
Neil, a.k.a. Tiny Wizard.
Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I know there's been a lot of weeks off. Stuff has been going wrong.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure you could tell from my voice that I'm fighting through some stuff right now to even be here. I just didn't want to not do it again. So just bear with us. We got a lot of stuff going on, and it's just not pleasant. Hell, the channel hasn't had that many stuff lately. It's just been a crazy couple of months. Is all it boils down to. But we're here today. We're gonna talk to you about some stuff. We're gonna read out your stuff. We're gonna be talking about just the fact that I am going to publicly admit that I legitimately don't know what's going on with gaming anymore. Just top hands down. Basically telling you guys to get your news from another source because I don't know. And then we're going to talk about a couple of news things. Probably be a little bit of a short show. And so yeah. So with that said, we're going to thank the people who have made this possible. Behind our ugly mugs, you see a custom graphic that was provided by the man who makes music, my brother Nick Van Siders. No, that was wrong. Rusty, that's what I am. Behind our ugly mugs, you see a custom graphic that was provided by Mr. Mark Bell. We thank him for that. And then, of course, the theme song for this show and all the shows here at Old Man Gaming was provided by the man who makes music, my brother Nick Van Siders. We thank him for that. We'll be right back with fan interaction.
Horrible Gaming Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to our first segment, our most important segment. That's Fan Interaction. That's where we talk to you guys, the fans. We read out your comments wherever we see them. We have 2 comments on YouTube this week. And here we go. William Holland, hi, exclamation point. Let's hope you don't catch what's entered your house. The illness, I mean. Funny story. I just caught other things, apparently. It's not the same, but my daughter is having a surgery tomorrow.
Oh.
Wish us luck. Oof.
Oh, God.
I'm quite excited for the new Kenya game. Love the first one. Played it like 5 times. It's just amazing. Thanks for the show. Cheers. Hashtag not every week's. Listen, man. I didn't know about your daughter's surgery. I'm just reading this now. This had to be like 2 weeks ago. So please comment and tell us that went okay. I hope it wasn't something too serious. That would be nerve-wracking. When my wife went in for gallbladder surgery, which is just normal, I was an absolute wreck. So I can't imagine what it would be for your daughter. So hopefully everything's okay, Will. We're giving you our best, without a doubt. That's awesome about the Kenya game. I've never played the Kenya game. Neil, did you play the Kenya game at all? The Bridge of Spirits?
I did not.
I've seen some videos of it. It looked interesting. It's just not something that like particularly grabs me as a player.
Right.
So I never really tried it. But yeah. And then, man, seriously, I hope your daughter's doing good, man.
Yeah,
just
really.
let us know that your daughter's doing okay. Backdraft then is our other commenter. Surprisingly, no Jason. No Professor. Weird one. Can't forget that Marathon ran. Can't forget that Marathon ran a smear campaign against Arc Raiders, then got caught stealing assets. Fable is poo, will always be poo, and will always let the people down. Not a James Bond guy for the same reason you said. I'm afraid it's just going to be more action-oriented Hitman. I want to agree with you about John Wick, but I don't want to play as John Wick. I want to live in the world and do assassin things beside or around him. I want more expansion in the Wickverse, not more of the same. Okay, so lot to unpack here. The Marathon stuff, yes, they did a bunch of dirty, evil shit. We talked about all of that on previous podcasts. And guess what? We're going to be talking about Marathon again in the news later. So we'll get to that. But yeah, dirty. Bungie's dirty. I don't know if I agree that Fable's poo. I like the first Fable, and I love the second Fable. The second Fable is, I would say, on my top 15 all-timers list. Third Fable was poo. Third Fable was poo. But second Fable I really liked. I think that Fable has a chance to be good. It just depends on what they deliver. And I am so sick of being promised things and then people under-delivering on those things. James Bond, I'm okay with it being a more action-driven Hitman, honestly. The only thing that kept me from playing Hitman was all the stealth. Mm-hmm. So I'd be okay with that.
Forced stealth. I hate all forced stealth.
I don't mind a little. I don't mind stealth if I get to choose it. You said forced stealth, so yes, I'm with you on that.
Stealth. Yeah. Like if it's not a fail state,
right, right.
Yeah, the objective would to be stealthy, but if shit goes bad, then you got to fight your way out of it. Not like game over, reload checkpoint. Like I hate that shit.
Well, and in fairness, that's how Hitman is. Like Hitman, if you get caught, you can go bloody and go loud if you have to, And that's the kind of stuff that I do like. I like to try and be stealthy and then have it go awry. I think those are the coolest moments in Bond movies, honestly, when you watch the Bond movies where he's stealthy and he's taking out guys and then something goes wrong and then everything just goes to shit. And I want those moments in the game, and hopefully we get those. And then the John Wick thing. I gotta say, I'm in 100% agreement with you. I like John Wick. I think, again, this game needs to be about young John Wick, but all the early reports is that it is going to be prequel stuff. It's going to be like early John Wick, young John Wick stuff, the game-wise. But again, I think we've seen enough John Wick. We've got 4 chapters of movies, relatively long movies of John Wick. He's also, done cameos and everything else. One of the biggest problems with the Wickverse is Continental was so bad that I think it shut down anybody's ideas of what a side movie could be. From what I hear, I still haven't seen it because it hasn't come to a streaming platform I can watch it on. But Ballerina is decent. but nobody gave it a chance. And I think that you end up in this position where nobody's giving any of the content a chance because Continental sucks so much. So like, I feel like the people behind John Wick material are thinking to themselves, if we don't have John Wick in it, it's not a home run. Whereas I think if there's one place where you could stand to not have John Wick in John Wick stuff, it would be a video game. And I think for one of my horrible arenas, I actually pitched a John Wick verse game. It was a game in which you play an assassin who moves up through the ranks to the high table and ends up getting into the John Wick verse, but you create the character and it changes how you go through things. And that's what I would want. That's what I want from the Wick verse. I want to be able to play a character in the Wick verse. That's what I want. What are your thoughts, man?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I want kind of both because I do like the John Wick story. I feel like they probably should have done more to preemptively branch everything out instead of waiting until the very last movie to try to branch things out. But that's a separate conversation for a separate podcast, I suppose. But overall, yeah, no, I kind of think I want both. But mostly though, that is the type of live service I feel like I would love to play. Like a game where everybody's like in a city and you can take on missions and stuff like that. But like as an event, they'll put a hit out on like 20 people who are in a lobby, and then like it's a do or die thing,
free for all,
like something like that. That would be amazing.
Almost like a perpetual battle royale that's organized.
Kind of, yeah.
I think that like the other thing about the John Wick prequels, and this is just coming from a John Wick fan, is John Wick is cool because he's not a bad guy anymore. Because he was a bad guy. Like the 4 movies hit so well because they're all post wife redemption, they're all post dog getting killed, and like it's him like, I was just trying to live my life, you killed my dog, my wife is dead, I'm going on a rampage. Like, and that's why you connect with him, I think that you take it back to a place where he's just a fucking monster. How are you going to connect with that material? You also have to be really careful too, because he has to kind of be a monster, because otherwise it devalues all the stuff that comes after. Like this, the whole point is he didn't know who he was until he met his wife. He didn't know that he could be a good guy. And like, that's why he walks away. He works so hard to get out of it. But like, he has to be a monster before that to get there. Like, that's part of it. This is a redeemed monster killing monsters. If you want players to connect with a John Wick that's younger, you have to kind of make him a good guy. And he shouldn't be a good guy. He should be a bad guy. Like, he's a bad guy. They're bad guys, That's true, yeah. Like, it is a missing part of the story, but it's also a part of the story that in a lot of ways helps the story by being missing. It helps the legend of the Baba Yaga. Yeah, it keeps some mysteries sort of thing, yeah. When you uncover that, it gets tricky. And I'm a man who has gone on record multiple times of saying I hate prequels. This is the only time I've ever been like, you got to do prequels. But the only reason I'm saying that is because it's Keanu Reeves as John Wick. That's the only place you have to go with it. I'm not a prequel guy. I don't like prequels. I think that prequels, how a prequel ends. Yes. You already know how it ends. Like, no matter how this goes. So you're doing one of two things. You're either giving somebody sympathy for a villain that they never wanted to have sympathy for in the first place and changing the original story somehow, or you're just telling the story that everybody already knows, just longer, So like, I'm not a huge prequel guy. I don't like, the minute somebody tells me prequel, it has to be something very interesting to get me involved. So I don't know. I kind of see where Backdraft's coming on that one. Yeah, definitely. And that's it for the Wickcast, guys. I could do a cop podcast on Wick first. That would be great. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with the Talking Point.
Horrible Gaming Podcast.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to our talking point. And I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I don't understand gaming. I really thought I did. I thought after spending, what are we, like 7 years into this now? 8 years into this?
Something like that, yeah.
That I would have some sort of understanding of the gaming industry, but I am fucking lost. Because our talking point is obviously going to be Project Helix, which is the biggest news story that came out of the last couple of weeks. Project Helix, if you don't know, is Xbox's next-gen console. They have announced that they are working on it. It is codenamed Project Helix. That's not going to be the official release name or whatever. It's like back when Scorpio was the
Xbox One.
The One X or whatever, yeah. So, but it's going to be... So there's going to be a release name for it, but Project Helix is the next thing. We had the, I cannot remember her name, but Little Miss AI, the person who has taken over for Phil Spencer, announced that it was coming, that she's going to be talking about it more in GDC. And then the only real piece of information we got from it is that it will play both console and PC games. In addition to this, and this is a part of this that I want to talk about, and if you don't mind me ranting a little bit, Neil.
Go for it.
PlayStation then announces that they're going to be pulling away from PC ports, which
I'm glad you brought that up.
The opposite of everything that I thought was going on in the business, because I had it marked down that Xbox One, they were forcing their games onto PlayStation consoles. PlayStation was kind of acquiescing to whatever Game Pass Xbox wanted. I was expecting to see a Game Pass on PlayStation, honestly, soon. But now PlayStation looks to be trying to go back to war with them, because this announcement comes, like 3 days before Helix comes out and says that we're going to do PC games, which means that PlayStation very obviously knew that's where they were going and decided we're not going to do that anymore, because that means that our games will be on Xbox consoles, and we don't want that. So I'm going to just say it, guys. If you are getting your news or your opinion stuff from me, you should go somewhere else, because I apparently have no fucking idea what's going on. I was convinced we were looking at the sunset of Xbox hardware all the way around. They had put a girl in who was all about AI. Seamus Blackley came out and said that this is the way it's going. Phil Spencer, Sarah Bond they retire, which I still don't believe was by their own volition, but maybe it was. What do I know? I don't know shit, because I thought PlayStation was in Xbox's back pocket now that they owned Activision. But now PlayStation's like, fuck you, Xbox. We're not going to put our shit on PC anymore, which means that Xbox people won't get it. So I am very confused by all this news. I don't understand the point of it. I certainly don't understand what they're trying to do with it, given the fact that we don't have memory or hard drive space. Like, Valve has already pushed back their console multiple times. They haven't given us a release date, and they have cited the fact that we can't produce it for the amount of money we wanted to produce it for. So what is the Helix going to be, like $15,000? Like, what are we doing here? What is the point? What is the goal? Like, I don't understand it anymore. I don't even understand how this helps Xbox at this point. Like, how does making another next generation console, when they have done nothing but lose money on consoles? Like you and I have talked about it. They only lose money on consoles. They've talked about it. The consoles were all about getting people on Game Pass. Now everybody's on Game Pass. What is the fucking point of this? I don't understand it. And I have searched into the deepest recesses of my disgusting fucking brain, looking for any sort of like mind castle-y reference or answer to this, and I can't find one. I mean, Neil, you could take a shot at it, because this doesn't make any fucking sense to me.
I got one. So first off, this is one of the very few times that you've brought up every single solitary fucking point, basically, that I was going to make as well.
Sorry.
Every single one. No, don't be sorry.
It's all part of the singularity of the fact that we've been doing this so long together that our brains are just becoming the same brain.
Yes. Now, but it's actually given me a moment to realize kind of what you're what makes them want to do this? Why are they doing this? One word: hubris. Hubris. Think about it. So,
I mean, that makes sense.
In a moment where it is widely known that nobody can get any sort of PC parts, hardware, chips, RAM, everything like that is skyrocketing in price. Like you said, Valve just now is able to get Steam Decks back going, let alone whatever they're going to do with their console. Microsoft says, yeah, hey, we're going to do this thing that's going to do PC games and console games, and it's going to be a premium product and expect to pay out the wazoo for it. And then Sony says, like you mentioned, yeah, screw that. We can't have our games just going like that because we're going to lose money on our consoles, ... which is why we are refusing to delay the PlayStation 6 and will actively sell it at a higher rate because it would do more damage if they delayed it. I don't know if you saw that, but they actually said that.
Mm-hmm.
So they plan on knowing full well that it's going to be pretty shitty on that. And Switch 2 sales have basically not only just begun to fall flat, but they are considering raising the price of the Switch 2 because of everything going on. And all three of them are making this decision because of hubris, because Nintendo got away with the more expensive console with the Switch 2 compared to what they were charging for the Switch OLED and what you actually got out of it. Because Sony released the PlayStation 5 Pro and people actually spent money on that thing and have continued to buy the console even whenever it goes up in price. To where Microsoft has basically said, yeah, we don't care if you buy one of our consoles. We still have you one way or another. Every single one of those three, hubris.
I mean, that is the word of the day when it comes to gaming. And we talk about the crash all the time. The crash would be coming because of hubris. Like, that's the number one contributing factor.
That's what happened last time.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Literally what happened last time.
I think it is funny that the Switch 2 has fallen on its face, and you say they got away with a higher priced console. I don't know that they did. You know, they got away with it for a small period of time. I think that, like, this is not going well for them right now, to the point where they're, you know, trying to sue the government, which I'm not going to get. I'm not going to get into politics.
I did see that. That's
And I don't like Nintendo. They have every right to, with all the bullshit going on. But, like, you're not going to, like, you have to sue that. You're that hard up.
I don't, you know what? Here's what I'll say. I'll just make this quick joke. If it's anyone's lawyers who would be able to win that case, man, that's all I'm saying.
That's true. That's true. I think that is an interesting situation that we're in, because I don't think we are looking at a situation where, like, nobody seems to learn anything. And it just keeps making mistakes. Like, I mean, is this gonna be the crash then? Like Helix and PlayStation 6? Like, are we looking at the absolute death of, like, AAA gaming at that point? I don't know. Because I kind of feel like we're in a weird death circle where, like, every time I think there's progress, even negative progress, it just circles back around and somehow gets worse and starts again. And, like, the console wars are over. What are we doing, PlayStation? Yeah, are you serious? Like, you're pulling shit off PC? Pulling shit off PC, sure, that keeps it out of Xbox people's hands. But that system isn't going to come out for another 2 fucking years at least, right? Like, we're both of that mind. So all you're going to be doing is keeping your sales down by not selling the ports on PC. Like, when you don't sell to multiple areas, you alienate everybody who only plays on PC. That's just fact. So what are you doing? Like, I don't understand anything. Like, it's like every day they come out with something and I'm like, why? It's not even like Monty Python. Like, it's not even like they're doing this for humor. It's just, I don't understand it. And maybe that's part of the reason why Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond aren't there anymore. Mm-hmm. As fucking much of an asshole as Phil Spencer is, I don't necessarily think he's a stupid guy. And maybe he was just like, what are we doing? We're making another console? Okay, I gotta go. Like Like, what were we doing with Game Pass then? What was the point of that? What was the war about Activision then? What was that all for? If we're just gonna make another fucking console like it's 2015, I don't understand what's happening, especially in a world where you can't get a stick of RAM for sucking a dick. Like, what are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I have anything else to say about this.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day,
no, it's our talking point, but
yeah, I know. I mean, that's the thing, though, is this has been coming forever, and it's slowly turned from a joke into something that's like becoming serious and like actual, like, you can see a world in which that's happening, especially when, we have games that have all this time and energy dumped into them for development, these live service games. We get Highguard gets shut down after a month and a half, where Marathon just came out and everybody's already just not even enjoying the game, staring at the player count because it's something that
no one even cares
knows.
about the game. Yeah.
They're just
Slay the Spire 2.
Count.
Slay the Spire 2 in early access is beating the shit out of it in concurrent players. Just absolutely beating the fuck out of Marathon in concurrent players. And it's an indie fucking dump game. Like, not a dump game. I don't mean to say it that way. Like, it's a good game. I'm not saying it's not. I'm saying that, like, you have these people spending untold amounts of money on games that no one wants or likes. And you have people who are, like, 1 or 2 dudes in a basement making a game. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know who listens to this and also watches my reviews. I don't know how much crossover there is. You have definitely noticed, I am sure, that I have not had a review in like 3 weeks and that we haven't had content actually since the last time our podcast came out. And that is for 2 reasons. One, we are behind on our TTRPG content. We just are because of sicknesses and stuff. And then the other thing is, I don't like releasing negative reviews, and I don't like releasing reviews that I don't feel like make sense or help anybody in the process. And the games that I play now are like, I'm finding like $15 or $20 games over here and just pulling that from like 3 years ago and playing it, So like, we're in a weird space where I don't even want to play those games for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, if we are in, if a crash is coming, I feel like we're midway through. Yeah. I think. I feel like
the worst is yet to come. Definitely,
but the worst is yet to come. Yeah, for the grand.
The Highguard thing makes me miserable. How many times are we going to do this? How many times are we going to do this where we come up with a live service game that somebody spends money on who wants to play for ever and they're shut down in a month or 2? We did this with Concord. Now we've done this with Highguard. How many are we going to do this with? I mean, even ostensibly some that took longer times, like Anthem and other ones. Like, I have a copy of Anthem upstairs. I cannot play anymore. That should be fucking illegal. The fact that I just can't play it. Like, the fact that games are temporary in space and time, it destroys the art of it too. And it's just, it's infuriating. It's infuriating the way games have gone and where they are and how they exist in the ecosystem.
And where they continue to go.
Which we're going to talk about in news, because I am not happy that all the news came from me for a change. And they are just more things for me to rant about. So, I don't know. I know it's probably going to be a short show, but with your blessing, I would like to pause and go to the news.
Yes.
All right.
Horrible Gaming Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to our final segment, the news. This is where Neil, for the most part, likes to collect news stories that we want to tell you about, talk about, riff about. Both of them came from me this week. I'll be honest.
Surprise, motherfuckers.
I'll be surprised. I told Neil to write them down, but they're both coming from me. Which one do you want to talk about first, Neil?
I mean, so let's start with the first one on the list. I got Marathon microtransactions pricing.
Okay, so Marathon comes out. It's $40. It's not the $60 premium amount. It's $40. Good. all of the microtransactions inside of it. Cosmetic. Good. I'm all right with that. We're still talking my language. However, this is where the fuckery comes in, okay? Because all of those microtransactions are like skins for your characters and guns and stuff like that, right? So if you spend $10, you know exactly where I'm going with this already, because
I already know exactly where you're going, and the fact that we're still doing this. Why are we still doing that? Go ahead.
If you spend $10, you get 1,100 of their premium currency, but every one of those skins, and this is the most insulting. Okay, what do you think every one of those skins costs?
So you get $1,100, right?
$10, you get 1,100 points. What do you think they cost?
Let me guess. 12. Let me just 1,200.
It's so much more insulting than that. They cost 1,120. 20 more. 20.
Wow. Oh God, that's just salt in the wound, man.
It is. It's like very clear how they know what they're doing. What they're doing. Like,
it's not a new trick either. It's not a new trick. They've been doing it for years. I think we should be more offended by the fact that not only are they doing it still in 2026, still having the gall to charge $40 for the game, but also not even be something to where you get the added benefit of still having like 1,000 of these premium points or whatever afterwards. No. It's even worse.
No, like you can never mathematically break it down to where you spend all of your premium points if you spend dollars, which is just, it is ridiculous. And like the fact that it's only 20 more, which amounts to about 10 cents, just letting you know, 10 cents. But can you buy 10 cents of currency?
Nope.
No. The smallest amount you can buy is 500. So like you would have to buy the 1,100, then the 500 one, and have 480 points left over. What the fuck are you going to do with those?
Let me guess. And there's probably literally no way to earn teeny tiny amounts of this currency in game, is there?
No, not to my knowledge.
Of course.
No. Which there are some other ones that you could earn the in-game currency, and I would give props for that. Like if you can earn the in-game currency, no matter how much of a grind, I can at least earn it. Right?
Yeah.
Like that's something, but I don't believe you can in this. I believe it is all like microtransaction paid for, which is bullshit. Which brings me to the absolute garbage that WWE 2K26 is trying to peddle. Now, I think I've complained about this on the show before, okay? But if I haven't, I'm going to try and set this up because I know most of our listeners, Neil included, is not a WWE person, wrestling person, that sort of thing. So, I only play WWE 2K games for the GM mode. They brought back GM mode in 2022. I've bought every copy since because they've treated the GM mode like their baby. They've slowly made it better and better and better. This year, no different. They added a bunch of new stuff to their GM mode, custom belts, the 8, 6, 5-man matches, tons of new match types, 50-week season, all sorts of really cool stuff to GM mode. That being said, usually when you get a WWE game, they're already raking you over the coals because usually there is a $70 standard edition. Then there is a $100 series of editions. It'll be like 3 different editions that you can buy digitally that'll give you 7 days of early access, as well as other things, other unlockable things that you get with those standard edition, with those upgraded edition. With the standard edition, you usually then have to buy what's called a supercharger, which is like a $5 thing that like you spend on the game, and then it unlocks all the characters that weren't previously unlocked. Because I don't want to grind. I don't want to grind because I just play the GM mode. I don't even play these games. I don't even know how to play these games. It's just play the GM mode. So, all of that said, I was actually considering dropping the 100 for early access this time. I have money. I have a little bit of extra disposable income, and I love GM mode. This GM mode looked really good, and I was like, maybe I'll get in ground floor. That's when I found out that they jacked the price up to $130 for early access, or $150 for the most superior early access you can get. But we're not done. we're not done, guys, because the Supercharger is no longer available. That's gone. Instead, they have implemented a Battle Pass. That Battle Pass goes through seasons, and it'll go through the entire course of this game's lifespan. So we have an annualized franchise now with a Battle Pass. You have to grind that thing out to get the characters and stuff unlocked that you want. To make matters worse, you can pay for those levels on that ringside pass. If you buy all of it right out, and that's just the first ringside pass, season 1, it's another $77.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I would love to see what those sales numbers are on those editions, man. Like the most I've ever spent on any collector's edition of anything is I bought there was $130 collector's edition of Kingdom Hearts 3.
Okay.
Because I was so hyped for that game when it came out. Pre-ordered it, steelbook, figures, a flag, all this shit with it. So excited for it, loved it to death. There's no other game out there that I feel like I would buy the deluxe edition of personally myself. I've gotten collector's editions. I mean, we have the Street Fighter up over here, the Street Fighter 4 collector's edition at the top on the shelf there. But yeah, there's like not much in the way of collector's editions that I would purchase unless you got something to really bring me in. And to go through and spend not just all that money to be able to get the early access now, but then to also have to grind all that shit out and pay for all that stuff. So you say, what? There's a top tier that's $150, and if you buy out those other ones, it's $77.
It's $77 for the ringside pass. All the tiers with early access are $130 to $150, and they don't unlock any characters. Like previously, they unlocked characters. They don't really unlock any characters.
After tax, you could be looking at $225.
Yes, without a doubt. And like, what blows my mind. So like, and just to give context on this, the only reason that I thought about spending the $100, because I've only ever spent $100 on one other game. The only reason I thought of spending $100 on this game is because I would get my money's worth out of it. I play the GM mode a lot. Like the amount of hours that I put into GM mode, just to give context. Sorry if everybody lost the screen for a second. But just to give context, 2K24, I played for 215.8 hours. 2K25, I played for 111.4 hours. So you see what I'm saying? Like I get these, like 2K23, I played for 198.1 hours. And 2K22, I played for 90 hours. So like I get my money's worth out of these. So like I would consider the 100, but 150, and you don't even get anything unlocked, and you have to grind this stupid ringside pass. What's even funnier about this game is still in the early access period. It doesn't come out until I think the 13th. Next week, the 13th, it's already got mixed reviews on Steam. It's already at mixed because of this. If you scroll through the user reviews, it's just this. It's just, I can't believe all this shit is locked. Why would you do this? The best part of this game is the sandbox. You've locked everything behind the sandbox. Why would you do this? Like, they've just made everything terrible. Just gonna look at it real quick. Yeah, still mixed. Out of 298 reviews. So of the 298 people that purchased early access on Steam of this, it is mixed, which means, I believe, if I recall correctly, that's 45% or more bad reviews. Correct?
That sounds correct.
All right. Because I think that like mostly positive is like 70%.
I believe 80.
Maybe 80.
Maybe
something like that. It's a lot. It's a lot. To have 289 people and at least 120 of them are upset about the amount of money they spent on it already is a little infuriating. Because you can't review the product without paying for it. Just to give that heads up on Steam, you can't review the product willy-nilly. You have to actually have bought it.
Yeah, this just kind of goes back to the impending crash that we were talking about. Yep. I mean, because I almost wonder if it's like like when it comes to microtransactions, you know how they label folks like by like, you know, whales and shit like that. I think they've foregone everybody else and they're just going after those whale folks directly, trying to tailor everything more to them because one of them makes up so many of everybody else who doesn't spend any extra money on games or barely spends any extra money on games.
I mean, maybe, but it's got to hurt their sales on the back end because we've got mixed reviews already. You know, if anybody's on the fence about purchasing it, they might not purchase it now. You know, now, I'm not going to lie. I'm having a hard time bringing myself to purchase it. And I want it because I love GM mode. GM mode is great. And this is going to be the first season where we could do custom championships and the first season where we can have more than 4 people in a match at the same time. It's going to be 50-week seasons instead of the 25, which is a full year, full calendar year. It would be great. But I'm still like, there's part of me that's like, do I really want to give these motherfuckers 70 of my dollars for this? I don't know if I do. You know, it's tough. Right. It's real tough.
Yeah, it's...
Go ahead.
What?
Go ahead.
No, I mean, it's just becoming more and more of a bigger and bigger ask. I mean, even the games now that are more games coming out that are $40 with microtransactions. Mm-hmm. I remember when I first started bitching about that back when that was a thing, like 3-4 years ago, when they started putting those games like that out there. And now it's becoming more and more commonplace. I mean, pretty soon we basically have it, but I wouldn't be surprised if they start charging like $80-$90 on the regular for a game that's normal and then like $60 for a game that we currently pay $40 for and still cram it full of microtransactions.
How many people are going to buy that stuff? We're looking at the concurrence, right? We're looking at the concurrence of Marathon tanked already. Like, yeah. Whereas Slay the Spire, which is what, a $20 fucking game, is destroying everything. Like, when are they going to start looking at the actual numbers and see what they're doing is not working? I think that like even with this WWE thing, first of all, annualized franchises need to go. Like they need to go. The idea that, and that's one thing that's included in the big standard editions is the DLC. Like you get like 4 new wrestlers every 3 months or so. But like with those DLCs, the last 4 wrestlers come out like 2 months before the next game comes out. And then they shut down the servers for the old game like 5 months into the new game's lifespan. Why are we just updating this one? Why are we just putting this as the send off and just making new wrestlers from here on out? Like I don't, or new features. Like, these games are all online anyway. Like, I don't understand what we're fucking doing here anymore. Mm-hmm. Especially when you have, and I don't like Ubisoft, they're a terrible company, but you have games like For Honor and Rainbow Six Siege who have been around for 10 years and they're doing just fine with regular updates. You know, why don't we just do that with sports games? And the reason is they think they can keep getting $70 out of you, $70 to $150 out of you every year. I think that there's going to be a no on that eventually.
Yeah, eventually there's going to be a no. There's been tons of no's anyways. There are people who've already started, not buying as many games or spending money on that sort of stuff or the microtransactions and things like that. But the no's are just going to become louder and more numerous, basically.
Yeah, that's true. All right, I think we've covered it.
Yes.
You ready to call it a day?
Yes.
All right.
Horrible Gaming Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of the show and the shameless self-promotion that comes with it. Although I don't know that we have a whole lot of things to plug at this point.
We're going to try to do things. We were trying for BG3L3 and we were trying for some more Ordo. We really, truly did. Between Zach and myself, I ended up getting sick too.
Yeah.
I ended up, I was out with a stomach bug for a couple days as well. So 100%, I super duper get it. It has been super duper tough, but we trying hard.
We are.
We put in everything that we got. It's not much, but it's something.
It has been a nonstop barrage of bullshit. And I am sorry. We did, like, I know you guys don't know this. We had a Streets of Retro plan. We had to cancel it. Mm-hmm. We had a BGL3 plan, we had to cancel it. We got one Ordo session in, so we're up to 2, but I don't post those till we get a full season in, so we had another one of those that had to get canceled. I've had, like, the Dual Bastard session has been canceled, like, 5 times. So, like, we're trying to get some content out there. I had a review that I was working about, but it turned really negative, and I don't want to do it anymore, so it's just tough. But we'll try and get something out here. We're sorry, just stick with us. We're not going anywhere. We're just not able to produce as much right now is all. Other than that, you can reach us on Discord. Links in the description below. Influence us in all of our shows from there. As long as you guys keep watching and listening, we'll keep making them. We'll see you guys next time.